What an action-packed day, guys. And look what's happening right before the ETF's launch. This is quite interesting, isn't it? From Guru, Justin top US business executives to attend private meeting at the White House with President Trump tonight. New York Stock Exchange attending, Nasdaq attending, JP Morgan attending, BlackRock attending, Morgan Stanley attending, Goldman Sachs attending. A little bit odd, huh? Why? And what will they talk about? When your table has more market cap than countries, private dinner, quote unquote, right? This is interesting, guys. Seems like something's brewing here, right? With these major institutions, and remember, these are the puppets of the current financial system. Not to mention, it's happening tonight, tomorrow, or when the ETFs launch for XRP. Could there be a correlation? Possibly. Breaking: U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent announces that $2,000 tariff stimulus checks will most likely be going to all Americans who make less than $100,000 per year. So there it is, guys. So it is official. It is confirmed that, most Americans will be grabbing this 2K, right? And I advise you, when the time does come, buy XRP with it. Okay, no matter what you do. I think even if you buy like $500, right, just buy some XRP with this $2,000 because in the future it will pay off most definitely. Plus it's free money, right? So even if it doesn't do what you wish XRP to do, it doesn't matter because it's free money, right? Do not buy Bitcoin because I know a bunch of people will. The ROI on Bitcoin, it's terrible. Then from Illinois, Justin, in a 222 to 209 vote, the House has passed the bill to end the longest government shutdown in history, which lasted more than 42 days. President Trump is expected to sign it tonight at 9:45 p.m. So I'm guessing he did sign it, guys. And the government is about to reopen here. Again, bullish news after bullish news after bullish news. What's happening here? Right? So this is amazing news in itself, guys. Then, Reuters poll U.S. Federal Reserve to cut Fed funds rates by 25 basis points to 3.50 to 3.75% range on December 10th, says 84 of 105 economists. Okay, so look at that. So the Fed is cutting like never before, right? They're in their cutting cycle, guys. We're getting stimulus checks. Not to mention they're ending QT, bring upon QE, right? What else do we got here? Government reopening. Like, this is the perfect storm for the magical bull run, isn't it? Right? This is what everyone was waiting for. But all of a sudden, when we got to this point, people became bearish. Right? Then, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says we will see substantial tariff news over the next couple of days. Okay, so I'm guessing this will be positive, right? Instead of it's being negative, just because why would he announce it in the first place, right? So if this tariff news is positive, guys, maybe lowering tariffs, right, on other countries, or maybe removing them in totality, well, markets are going to pump. Right, so it's simple as 1, 2, 3, guys. I feel like there's a perfect storm brewing here, especially when you have the White House, right? Trump meeting with all these executive, important players from the TradFi system. Right, so something is definitely brewing. I'm guessing it's bullish, because why is BlackRock attending? Remember, BlackRock owns Aladdin. Aladdin does what? Manipulates every market in whichever direction Trump wants it to be manipulated to. You guys realize or no? Right? So I'm hoping they manipulate it upwards, coming soon. Right? This is like the perfect storm. Plus, we got Charles Hoskinson says, we are not at the end of the bull run. We are only halfway through. I was the first person to say it. I'm not kidding. Actually, so years ago we called for the cycle end by end of 2025, but we changed our mind because of Big Short. Okay, he told us to stay in until 2026, right? So as soon as we see that, we it's not too far out though, right? It's only like a couple more months supposedly, and an insider knows as well, right? He says that the founder of Cardano, guys, right, one of the main coins in the space, is saying, hey, we're only halfway through, right? So we haven't even seen euphoria, guys, and it's about to begin, starting with XRP, which happens tomorrow, okay? Or I'm guessing by the time you guys are watching this, today. So as of 5:30 p.m., Canary Fund's ETF is officially effective after Nasdaq certified the listing, clearing XRPC for launch tomorrow at market open, right? So 9:30, I believe, a.m. Canary Fund CEO gave me the statement on the XRPC spot ETF. Quote, "We are very excited to go effective with the first single token spot XRP ETF. This would not have been possible without the leadership of Chairman Atkins, Commissioner Pierce, and all the other fine people at the SEC who are pro-free markets," end quote. Guys, they're super excited. Why? Because they're going to make a bunch of money, most definitely, but on the other hand, this opens a like a road, right? A road that leads to more sunshine and rainbows, okay? Because this thing only does good from here on out, from tomorrow, starting tomorrow, guys, okay? It's not a negative I forgot it, but it's only net positive. That's what I meant to say, okay? It's only net positive, guys. Why? Because you can't take, you can only give, right? When we first start off, which means to pour liquidity into XRP. A spot XRP ETF would be a huge product that taps the $100 trillion TradFi market, Bitwise Invest CEO told us at Ripple Swell. So after this, we're going to be talking about the charts, because if we do explode, we want to know where we're heading to. But first, why will we explode? Well, look at what he says here.
There's a ton of interest in XRP, my colleague Matt Hogan, our CIO, likes to say that the death of an ETF is apathy, and apathy is certainly not one of the elements of XRP. There's a lot of energy and interest and enthusiasm, so
exactly, we have community, guys, right? This community has have been building and built since a decade now, right? More so, I think, when the Railers came into place, that's when everyone got united, right? But people won't admit to that. And there's a lot of exciting energy, right? We want amazing things to happen to XRP, and this is one of them. The trigger, the catalyst, which ignites tomorrow, unlocks the path that we have all been waiting for.
I think there's $100+ trillion that live on traditional rails, and more of that is migrating on chain. But nevertheless, there's $100 trillion there. An ETF is often the first time that much of those assets can tap into exposure to an asset, and I think if they have the opportunity to have exposure to and trade XRP, it'll be a very useful and high demand product. There's
exactly, guys, right? $100 trillion in TradFi markets. Why? Because the normal person isn't trading cryptocurrencies and making an account on an exchange and buying crypto and doing all this sort of stuff. You know what he's doing? He's just investing passively, right, in TradFi markets, stock markets, right, whatever the case may be, and he's not too worried about it, right? He's looking for decades long returns. So when they see something new and exciting, such as XRP, which will revolutionize this world and already has been, they're going to be like, oh, let me invest into this, right? So they're going to take a percent of their whole net worth, right, or whatever they're invested into in the TradFi system, and invest it into XRP. Because even if you lose a percent, it doesn't matter to you, right, or to those people, because they're already super wealthy. So right now, XRP is moving higher, guys. Amazing stuff. Now, if we do explode tomorrow, there's going to be resistance at 260, and then resistance at 280. Okay, guys. So that's what I'll watch out for. Remember, this pattern, right? Ascending triangle. The target takes us to about 270. So in this region, I think there's going to be a bunch of resistance as well, right? Look at that, resistance. Perhaps next resistance touch point, which takes us to 270s to 280. So watch out for that, guys, because it may get chaotic tomorrow, and hopefully in a upward trajectory. From Fifi, This ETF setup is more brilliant than the original Shane Ellis theory, as it is an evolution. Instead of pre-funding exchanges with liquidity, the liquidity is coming from natural market-driven ETF demand. 100% legal. Price will skyrocket upward much more violently, right? Exactly, guys, because when there's a lot of demand, which I do believe there will be tomorrow, and not much, supply on the exchanges, it's supply and demand versus demand says to me, we pump hard, that is, right, for the coming months, hopefully. Then Ripple just tweeted out something exciting, so they're just tweeting a lot. In honor to meet Singapore's Deputy Prime Minister. Wow. So they're in talks, guys. Singapore continues to lead from this front with clear rules and regulations around digital assets, maintaining a strategic vision to build a trusted, connected digital asset economy. Right? So they're already in talks with all these major players, guys. Okay, around the globe, and that's how. Remember, partnerships matter, right? Partnerships matter than utility, I would say. Well, I would say they're half and half. Utility obviously matters, right? But if you have no partnerships, and the TradFi system, the banks won't use your technology, then what's the point? Right? That's what you're targeting. And Ripple has it both. The best of both worlds here. Okay? So there's just a bunch of fantastic news, guys, coming out and about. Just over 1 year ago, SEC was appealing court's decision that XRP did not meet legal definition of a security. Then, on Thursday, looks like the first 33 Spot XRP ETF will launch. Hard to describe crypto regulatory shift over past year, night and day. Right? So, let's see what appears, guys. And I'm hoping and I'm praying it goes very beautiful tomorrow. Okay? It goes really well tomorrow. And I think I have a hunch, and my gut feeling says it'll go much better than we all expect it to be. Let the liquidity flood in, let us skyrocket, and let us make profit, not financial vice. But anyways, that's what Face Maze is. See ya.